Hey, I'm doing a little review on the Black & Decker 18-volt cordless chainsaw. It's a great little chainsaw, and the reason why I picked a cordless battery-operated chainsaw was because sometimes I have a hard time getting our Poland wild thing started, and I just get aggravated and I feel like throwing it. So I decided to get something that I knew would start every time. But I didn't want electric because on our property we don't have electricity. So I would end up having to hook it to a battery to run it, and that would just be a waste, you know. So I figured if I'm going to have to run off of a battery, I might as well go ahead and just get battery operated. So they do, I opted for the 18 volt, and they have the lithium ones and other brands too, but I had some other Black & Decker battery operated, so I decided to go with the chainsaw and give it a try. So I have the battery operated weed eater, and also, you know, one of the drills. So again, I was keeping the batteries all the same, and it allowed me to interchange them so that I have multiple batteries for each item. So that's basically one of the reasons why I went with the Black & Decker. Now, how does it work? Is it worth it? Does it cut? Yes, yes, and yes. As far as I can see, I've used it quite a bit. Actually, in our other property, we had a really bad storm. It was really bad, and it actually felled some trees. So the next morning, we were unable to even to get down to the next property over from us, and because it was a tree, a huge pine, but it was pine, and it was an older rotted pine, I'll tell you that, but it fell right across our trail. So my friend had the Ryobi lithium, and I had the Black & Decker, and they were both battery operated, and we cut that tree up and we got it out of the way. So they do work, and again, they're not meant for lumberjacks, but for situations like that, it is a great tool to have on hand and ready. And that's another reason why I like it, because a lot of times when I'm headed down to our property, you never know what the weather was like down there. Sometimes it's just a matter of an old tree, and it'll fall down, you know, across one of the logging roads, and eventually the Forest Service will be there to clear it out of the way. But how long are you going to have to wait for that? So I like to have a little chainsaw with me, and usually I can get a hold of a few more people in the surrounding area with some, you know, that maybe we'll have some like this, or people that are traveling with us, we all try to keep one in our car. So a gas operated one obviously is better, but this one is a lot easier to handle for everybody. So I've been cutting on this log, and as you'll see, it's not super big, but they tell you straight up, it's, you know, this chainsaw is good for about 4 to 6 inches biggest. And it's really great for trimming trees and stuff like that. And you know what I've found? Sometimes even when you're cutting like 2x6s and 2x4s, and you just need to make a quick rough cut, like when I was making stairs and stuff, it was easier because I already had the chainsaw there. It's battery operated. I just pulled it out and used it to make the cut. Man, and it makes a pretty clean cut because of the fact it's not that powerful. But again, it's powerful enough to cut up logs about that size. And so that's what I've been doing today. And now these big ones back here, don't get me wrong, it could probably cut it, but you'd probably go through a battery and maybe 2 cuts just because it's bigger. And that's some really seriously hard wood back there. I'm not even sure what it is. It's like a white wood or something, but that is some seriously hard wood. It's been sitting there for several years, letting it age, and you can see it is just now getting to where it's starting to split some. So that's one of those woods that'll probably burn nice and long in your wood stove. But anyway, so I have to say that I have used this chainsaw long enough. I've had it for about 8 months. No, well, actually probably closer to a year now. So I would definitely have to say that I give it a thumbs up on what it can do. So I'm going to see if it can actually, if I can get this camera to stay up, maybe I can get a quick clip of it cutting. one little notch right there. Other than that, it's through and through. Ooh, hit a hard knot on that one. So there you go. That didn't take too long. Of course, you know, gas saw would be a lot faster. But I would give it, for what it is, 2 thumbs up easily. I've used it a lot. I've had success with it, so I'm pleased.